Hello and welcome. In this video, we will discover the 26 highest paying jobs without a degree. There are some interesting positions you may have never heard of before, some that you've dreamed of since childhood but thought it was out of your reach, and others that you may have overlooked as practical careers. While some require just a high school diploma, others may require on-site training, apprenticeships, certificates, or licensing. Well, just before we dive into the top 25 highest-paying jobs without a degree, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to download your free book on financial freedom by clicking on the link in the description below. 1. Auto mechanic. Auto mechanics, also called service technicians, inspect and fix cars and light trucks, focusing on engines, transmissions and braking, and steering systems. There may not be a lot of growth. Currently, in the auto mechanic industry, the negative 1% really means little to no change, according to the numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. But it's still a profession that requires qualified, skilled people to work on cars. If working on engines is in your wheelhouse, you should be able to get a job. You don't need a college degree, but most automotive service technicians and mechanics complete a program at a post-secondary institution, according to the BLS. Industry certification is often required after you get a job. 2. Insulation contractor. Insulation contractors keep us dry during thunderstorms, warm in the winter, and cool in the summer. In other words, their work protects us from the elements, whether we're at home or in an office building. The work tends to be physically challenging, requiring bending in tight spaces, and it's not for the claustrophobic. But it's also a job that requires you to use your brain. These workers read blueprints, measure materials, and install and replace insulation. They may need hazardous materials training. According to statistics, most insulators, especially those who specialize in floor, ceiling, and wall insulation, learn their trades on the job. Many mechanical insulators finish an apprenticeship program after they earn a high school diploma or an equivalency degree. 3. Massage therapist. Using their bodies and various methods of touch, massage therapists relieve client pain and help people relax. Why is this an in-demand career? Because we're all getting older, and many healthcare providers are recognizing the benefits of massage. That said, you may not work in, say, a hospital or at a physician's office. Many massage therapists work at hotels, franchised healthcare clinics, and fitness centers. Some are self-employed and visit clients' homes or offices to give massages. It's a job that often requires a post-secondary education program of 500 or more hours of study and experience, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, although what you're required to do for training is going to hinge upon your state or local jurisdiction's requirements. 4. Cement mason and concrete finisher. It's easy to take a cement mason or concrete finisher's work for granted. We see what they produce everywhere when we drive on roads or walk in the city. These workers use power tools to finish the surfaces of poured concrete used for sidewalks, roads, curbs, and floors. Most people in this profession have a high school diploma or an equivalent degree and learn through an apprenticeship program or through on-the-job training. It's a physically demanding job. Since you'll often be lifting heavy materials, you may be bending or kneeling a lot. But if you like exercise, you may love this job. It's also a career often spent outdoors. 5. Bus driver. Transit and inner-city bus drivers carry passengers where they need to go, sometimes collecting tickets and helping with luggage. School bus drivers take children to and from school. Being a bus driver isn't an easy job, but it's an extremely important one. City administrators aren't interested in putting just anybody behind the wheel, and so if you do your job well, you'll likely have a lot of job security. You'll probably be required to have a high school diploma or something equivalent to that, and you'll need to have a commercial driver's license, which you may be able to earn through on-the-job training. You'll also need to have a good driving record, as well as meet the physical, hearing, and vision requirements for the job. You may have to pass a background check as well. As noted, they don't let just anybody get behind the wheel. 6. Glazier. These workers read blueprints, remove old panes, and cut and install glass for doors, windows, mirrors, and display cases. If it involves glass in a building, a glazier is probably involved. It's a physically taxing job, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. You may be climbing up ladders or on scaffolding, which means it's a potentially dangerous job. You'll probably be able to get this job with your high school diploma, though you can learn the trade through an apprenticeship, on-the-job training, or a vocational program. There's more to this job than you might think. You may also need to know something about math and design and be able to work with construction equipment. As you might expect, the most demanding and best-paying jobs are often on high-rise buildings. 7. Carpenter. Carpenters read directions and use tools to build, fix, and install wooden frameworks. You typically don't need any more than a high school diploma to be a carpenter, but it will help if you know basic math, to calculate floor space and wall heights, and more complex trigonometric formulas to make right-angle cuts. They also use muscle and endurance to do their jobs well. Carpenters are everywhere new and older homes and buildings are. They mostly construct and repair building frameworks and structures such as stairways and door frames. 8. Real estate agent. When home buyers or renters are looking to buy, sell, or rent a home, these professionals are available to help with the process. Training requirements vary by state, but all require licensure. Technically, you can get by with no more than a high school diploma for this job, but plenty of college graduates become real estate agents, and it's a field where you use just about every skill you can imagine. Many real estate agents run their own businesses. You have to be a people person. You need to have a deep knowledge of the real estate market and the communities in your area. You have to know the ins and outs of buying, selling, and renting properties. There's a lot to this career. You will need to get a real estate license, though specific requirements vary by state. You'll probably need to be at least 18 years old and complete real estate courses and pass a licensing exam. 9. Equipment operator. On construction sites, equipment operators drive and control heavy machines such as bulldozers, trench excavators, and pile drivers. If as a kid you were the one in the sandbox with a toy bulldozer, well, this job may be for you. It's a career in which you often do get dirty, working in all sorts of conditions, such as construction sites and in all kinds of weather. You may also work a lot at night if you're involved in building roads. You'll likely need a high school diploma or equivalent education, and you may be able to learn how to operate equipment by taking vocational courses or through on-the-job training. 10. Sheet metal worker. Sheet metal workers work with thin layers of metal to create and install ducts used in heating and cooling. It's what some might call a good, honest day's work, meaning, you'll work hard, lifting heavy sheets of metal with a lot of physical activity involved. But by the end of the day, you'll have made some indispensable products, such as having made and assembled heating or cooling equipment. Or you might make vent hoods for the stove or countertops for a commercial kitchen. You might make signs or automobile parts. If it's made of metal, you may help make it. You often learn this type of trade on the job or at technical school. 11. Choreographer. Choreographers select movements and music to design new dances for performers. The market for this career isn't expected to grow throughout much of the 2020s, unfortunately, but according to the BLS, a negative 1% growth is little to no change, so at least the career field isn't shrinking, or anyway shrinking much. The good news is that if you get a job as a choreographer, you're probably going to be very happy. After all, you're helping to put on a show, possibly a musical, presumably working hard, but doing something you love. But choreographers are needed elsewhere too. Interest in dance and choreography is diversifying across other platforms, such as television, theme parks, and casinos. You might also land a job at a dance school. As for schooling, choreographers may not have a college degree, although plenty do, but they do tend to have years of formal training and usually have a lot of experience as a dancer. Choreographers create and coordinate dance routines for anything from theme parks and casinos to television and Broadway, as well as teaching roles in dance schools. Most choreographers start as dancers and mentor or apprentice under choreographers in order to learn the ropes. 12. Elevator installer and repairer. This position includes installing, maintaining, and fixing elevators, as well as escalators, moving walkways, chair lifts, and other sorts of machinery. Apprenticeship programs offered by unions, industry associations, and individual contractors will give potential workers the knowledge and experience to work in this complex field. 13. Power plant operators. Power plant operators maintain and operate machinery in power plants that generate electricity and distribute power between generators. They control the voltage levels throughout the day as consumer needs fluctuate. Similar to power distributors and dispatchers, operators will need on-site training and experience in order to work in the field. 14. Media and communication equipment worker. One way to get your foot in the door of show business is to become an equipment worker. If you're good with electronics and enjoy working in a fast-paced environment, media and communication equipment workers are needed to install and repair audio and visual electronics and systems in the film industry, as well as businesses and homes. Experience in electrical installation and repairs will be a plus, but you can also receive on-site training. 15. Theater makeup artist. If you've got a creative touch and would love working in the entertainment industry, this job might be the perfect fit for you. Theater makeup artists need a post-secondary non-degree certificate in order to get into the field, which will provide you with the necessary skills and knowledge and land your first job in the field. Theater makeup artist is a great career for creative people. 16. Aircraft mechanic. Aircraft mechanics maintain and repair aircraft, much like auto mechanics take care of the maintenance and repair of cars. The position requires a special certificate that is recognized by the FAA. 17. Sales representative. Sales representatives, or manufacturers' representatives or agents, sell products or services to businesses, government agencies, and other such organizations, as opposed to selling straight to consumers. Sales representatives are expected to have a way with people and the ability to travel, as you will need to attend trade shows and conferences. Additional administrative tasks may include filing expense accounts and analyzing sales statistics. Most positions do not depend on degrees, but rather experience and skill. To get ahead in this field, you may want to take extra courses that focus on marketing, sales techniques, economics, or communication. Some companies may require training programs which take you through the offices and production plants to learn about the product. 18. Electrician. An electrician takes care of designing or installing and fixing electrical devices from lighting systems, intercom systems, to electrical and power systems of homes and businesses. The work is intricate and complex, and many find it to be a satisfying challenge. A state-certified apprenticeship program is usually required to learn the trade and the necessary safety involved. 19. Plumber. Plumbers assemble, install, and repair pipes and pipe systems. It's a position with a lot of job stability if you're good at your job. After all, buildings, factories, and homes are always going up, which means pipes are needed, and somebody's septic system will always back up, or a basement will flood. Old buildings' pipes often need to be retrofitted to meet energy efficiency standards. Plumbing careers aren't going anywhere. You'll probably attend a technical school if you become a plumber, and you'll need to get a license. It's also worth noting that you may be called in for a plumbing emergency, so you may be working some weekends and evenings. 20. Brick and block masons. Brick masons and block masons create the structure and brick facades of houses and buildings. Their work requires following building instructions for walls, cutting stones to size, and mixing and applying cement and mortar. Skills are acquired through on-the-job training and apprenticeship programs. 21. Insurance sales agent. Insurance sales agents sell all kinds of insurance, from auto and home insurance to life and health insurance. They may also sell things like property damage policies and employee or product liability. Insurance is regulated by the state, and therefore insurance agents will need to complete continuing education in order to earn and maintain their licenses. 22. Firefighter. These heroes respond to all kinds of emergencies, including fires, floods, and accidents, in order to save and assist people in danger, which means that firefighters must have extensive knowledge of emergency management and must be licensed as a paramedic as part of their training. In order to become a firefighter, you'll need to apply to the fire academy of a specific fire department. 23. Sheet metal worker. Sheet metal workers assemble, fix, and weld a large range of metal equipment, such as heating, cooling, and ventilating systems, as well as architectural and structural metal work. They may also work on smaller scales, such as countertops and vent hoods for ovens in homes. Sheet metal workers tend to be more technical in comparison to metal jobs and construction work. Sheet metal workers need many skills, such as good eye-hand coordination, math, and problem-solving skills. Apprenticeship programs provide prospective workers with the right knowledge and experience. Iron and steel workers create the structures for buildings and bridges by installing the beams. Since the work can often be dangerous, apprenticeship programs that teach basic math, sketching, and of course plenty of practical hours on the job is crucial. 24. Equipment operator. Equipment operators help build and maintain large structures, such as buildings, roads, and bridges that make up the city's infrastructure. They operate the heavy machinery needed to steer graders, direct asphalt, roll out roads, and much more. Depending on your state's licensing, you can either attend vocational schools that offer the necessary courses or join an apprenticeship program. 25. Auto insurance appraisers. As long as drivers keep banging their vehicles into one another, like I did about 3 weeks ago, as of this recording, well, anyway, the demand for auto insurance damage appraisers will be strong. You only need a high school degree, but any training in auto repair and an intuitive knowledge of understanding the impact of damage on vehicle performance and appearance is highly recommended. 26. Website developers. Creating and designing websites for private or commercial usage remains in high demand, and a high school degree is enough, although an associate degree is helpful, in establishing a career in the website development trade. Pay is decent, and you can either work for a company as its web specialist or hang a shingle of your own and build your own client list. So there you have it, 26 ways to build a real career that makes real money without spending half your life in a college classroom. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, comment, and especially subscribe to the channel. You are also free to receive the new book, 5 Steps to Reach Financial Freedom, by clicking on the link in the description below the video.